So students, we have been solving problems on some basic concepts in chemistry. So far we have done up to problem number 4F, up to F we have done. So now we go to the next problem, that is problem number G. The question is, the natural isotopic abundance of B is 19.60%, that is boron. Boron 10 is 19.60% and boron 11 is 80.40%. The exact isotopic masses are 10.13 and 11.009 respectively. Calculate the average atomic mass of the boron. So this we have learned in our study of isotopes, that we find out the average mass by taking the average of various isotopic mass with respect to the ratio in which they are abundant in nature. So using that formula, when I solve this problem, so what I will do is this, that is problem G. So what I will do is, I will say problem G. So I'll say the average mass is equal to, so 10.13, it is present in 19.60%, plus the other isotope is 11.009 and abundance is 80.40%. So total percent I have taken is 19.60 plus 80.40, 100. So I'll divide it by 100. So next thing what I get is, this will be 198.548, and this value will be 885.124 divided by 100. So next thing, when I add this comes to 1083.672 divided by 100. So that will come to 10.8367, which you can take it as 10.84. So average isotopic mass of this boron will be 10.84. Is it clear to you, children? So with that, problem G is over. Now I come to next problem, that is problem number H. So problem number H, what they have asked me, see, convert the following degree Celsius temperature to degree Fahrenheit temperature. So I think you remember that degree Fahrenheit is equal to 9/5 degrees Celsius plus 32. So that is the formula I have to use in both the cases. So when I do this, so H, we have done similar problem in our MCQ also. So A Fahrenheit degree will be equal to 9/5 degrees Celsius plus 32. So that will be 9/5 degrees Celsius, they will give me 40 plus 32. So this will be 8. So this will be 8. So it will be 72 plus 32. So this will become 104 degree Fahrenheit. Is it okay with you? This is point A. The point B, same manner I will do. Fahrenheit will be 9/5 degree Celsius plus 32. So that will be 9/5 into degree Celsius, they will give me 30 plus 32. So this will be 6. This will be 6. So 6 nines are 54 plus 32. 54 plus 32. So this will be 86 degree Fahrenheit. So with that, we have completed problem H. Is it okay? Now I go to problem I. The problem I, they have asked me, calculate the number of moles and molecules of acetic acid present in 22 gram of it. So when they have asked me for acetic acid, number of moles, etc. So I say acetic acid is CH3COOH. So molar mass will be, there are 2 carbon, so 2 into 12 plus 4 hydrogen, 4 into 1 plus, there are 2 oxygen, so 2 into 16. So this will be 24 plus 4 plus 32. So 28 plus 32, and that will be 60. 60 is the molar mass of acetic acid. This I require to solve the problem. So my point is, I'll say 60 gram of acetic acid CH3COH corresponds to 1 mole. So therefore 22 gram of acetic acid corresponds to 1 into 22 upon 60, and this value comes to 0.366 moles. Now the question they have asked me is how many molecules are there, correct? So 1 mole corresponds to 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 molecules. So therefore 0.3666 moles will correspond to 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 into 0.3666, and this will come to 366. I can take it as 0.367. That will be okay. So this will be 2.2076 will be 2.2076 into 10 raised to 23 molecules. So this will be my answer. So that is how I do point I. So first I find out the molar mass, then I said 1 mole corresponds to 60 gram corresponds to 1 mole. So 22 gram, which is asked in the question, corresponds to 0.3666 moles. Now 1 mole corresponds to 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 molecules. So 0.3666, you can take it as 0.367 moles correspond to these many molecules. So I is over. Now I come to the next problem, J. 24 gram of carbon reacts with some oxygen to make 88 gram of carbon dioxide. Find out how much oxygen must have been used. Okay, so what I do is, first I write the balanced equation for the combustion of carbon, J. So I say carbon solid burns in oxygen gas to give me carbon dioxide gas. Now if you see, this is 12 gram of carbon is burning with 32 gram of oxygen to give me 12 plus 32, 44 gram of carbon dioxide. So the question they have asked me, 24 gram of carbon reacts with some oxygen to make 88 gram of carbon dioxide. So I will give it like this. So for formation of 44 gram of carbon dioxide, we require 12 gram of carbon and 32 gram of oxygen. So therefore, for formation of 88 gram of carbon dioxide, we will require double. So we require, and that is what they have given me, we require 24 gram of carbon and 32 into 2, 64 gram of oxygen. So, amount of oxygen that I require is 64 gram. Very simple problem. Now, I come to problem number J. Problem number J is over. Problem number K. Calculate number of atoms in each of the following. A, 0.4 mole of nitrogen. Now, when they have said nitrogen, I will take it as N2 gas, because that is the way it exists, and 1.6 gram of sulfur. So, when I do it like this, so I would say sulfur we can take it as S, but we do take it as S, but nitrogen will take it as N2. So, my point is, point A, N2 is equal to 28. So, molar mass is 28 gram per mole, which means 28 gram will make 1 mole. Is that okay? Question they have asked me 0.4 mole. So, my point is calculate the number of atoms. Okay. Now, 1 mole of N2 corresponds to 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 molecules, but each molecule is made up of 2 atoms, molecules of N2. Okay, and that is equal to 2 into 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 atoms of nitrogen, which is equal to 12.044 into 10 raised to 23 atoms of nitrogen. Now, so therefore 0.4 mole of N2, 1 mole contains this many atoms, so 0.4 mole will be 12.044 into 10 raised to 23 into 0.4, and that will come to 4.82 into 10 raised to 23 atoms of nitrogen. This is what will be the answer. Is that clear to you, children? Now, I want to tell you. They have given the answer 2.4088. Now, on what basis? They have taken nitrogen in the atomic state. So, as per the textbook, if you have to do, but I do, but that is not something that I will suggest. But if I have to get the answer which is given in the textbook, then I will say like this: if nitrogen exists in nitrogen is considered, not exist, considered in atomic state, so in that case molar mass is equal to 14. So, in that case, my point is one mole of nitrogen in atomic state corresponds to 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 atoms. Therefore, 0.4 mole of nitrogen in atomic state will correspond to 0.4 into 6.022 into 10 raised to 23, and this value will come to 2.4088 into 10 raised to 23 atoms. So they have not specified. So I have taken first in the natural state it exists as N2. So in that case it will be this many atoms. But if they want to mean that it is in the atomic state, then this will be the answer. Now you will ask me, sir, if they ask me in the exam which one I should do, my point is you do the first one, but to be on the safe side you can also do the second one, whether it is N2 or O2. Sometimes they consider in the atomic state, then it will be in this manner. Now I move to the part B. Part B is sulfur. Sulfur is, I will take it as S and not S8. Is that okay? That is how we universally we take that. Sulfur we take it as 32 only. So B, sulfur. So atomic mass is equal to 32. Therefore, molar mass is 32 gram per mole. I will change the pen because it is not writing properly. Let me see if it is writing properly. Yes. So 32 gram per mole. Okay. Now, what I would say, they have asked me 1.6 gram of sulfur. So my point is 32 gram of sulfur corresponds to 1 mole and mole. Therefore, 1.6 gram of sulfur corresponds to 1 into 1.6 upon 32. So this actually will come to 1 upon 20 and that will be 0.05 moles. Now my point is 1 mole will correspond to 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 atoms of sulfur. Therefore 0.05 mole will correspond to 0.05 into 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 atoms of sulfur. And this, when you do, it will be 3.011. This answer will be 3.011 into 10 raised to 20. No, it will be with 0.5, it will be 3.011. So it will be 3.011 into 10 raised to 22, mind you, because it will actually become 0.03022. So that is why 0.03011. So 3.011 into 10 raised to 22 atoms of sulfur. So this is how I get the answer. I hope you are okay with this. All right. Now I move to problem number L. Now problem number L, when I do, this pen is better. So I go to problem L. 2 gram of metal burnt in oxygen gave 3.2 gram of its oxide. 1.42 gram of the same metal heated in steam gave 2.27 of its oxide. Which law is verified? So let us see how I go about it. I do, that is problem L. So problem L, when I do, so 2 gram of metal corresponds to 3.2 minus 3.2 minus 2, because oxide weight is 3.2. So 3.2 minus 2, and there will be 1.2 gram of oxygen. So 2 gram of metal combines with 1.2 gram of oxygen, 3.2 gram of metal oxide. That is done. Now they are saying now 1.42 gram of metal will correspond to 2.27 minus 1.42, that will be 0.85 gram of oxygen. Again children, I will tell you, they said 1.42 metal forms 2.27 gram of oxide, which means the amount of oxygen present in that is 2.27 is the total weight of the oxide, 1.42 is the weight of the metal, so weight of oxygen is 0.85. So 1.42 gram of metal combines with 0.85 gram of oxygen. So if it was 2 gram, therefore 2 gram of metal combines with how much? 0.85 into 2 upon 1.42, this many gram, and that is equal to 1.197, which is roughly can be taken as 1.2 gram of oxygen. Is it okay? So what I find in both the compounds, 2 gram of metal combines with 1.2 gram of oxygen to form oxide, and that means the elements metal and oxygen are the same, and their weight by mass is also the same. So it verifies the law of definite proportion. Law of definite proportion, because in both the amount of metal and amount of oxygen is the same. Just like water, you bring from anywhere in the world, anywhere. So you brought it from place A or you brought it from place B, it is H2O. So it will be made up of 2 gram of hydrogen and 16 gram of oxygen. In the same manner, you might have taken 2 different samples. Eventually you find that 2 gram of metal has combined with 1.2 gram of oxygen, and therefore it is verifying the law of definite not proportion, definite composition. Law of definite composition. This is what it is. If the weight of the metal was same and the oxygen was different and they were having a simple ratio, in that case that would have been law of multiple proportion, but that is not the case over here. So it is law of definite composition. All right. So with that, we are through with the problem number L. Now I go to problem number M. Problem number M if you read the problem, you will get to know that they have told me in 2 moles of acetaldehyde, calculate the following: number of moles of carbon, number of moles of hydrogen, number of moles of oxygen and number of molecules of acetaldehyde. Very simple. So, let me do it. Problem number M. M is acetaldehyde, that is CH3CHO. You have to see it even more properly. So, it is CH3 C double bond O single bond H. So, there are how many carbon? 2. How many hydrogen? 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many oxygen? 1. So, I would say point A, 1 mole of CH3CHO corresponds to 2 moles of carbon. Therefore, 2 moles of acetaldehyde will correspond to 2 into 2, that are equal to 4 moles of carbon. So, number of moles of carbon is 4. Then point B, they have asked me about hydrogen. Now, my point is 1 mole of CH3CHO corresponds to 4 moles, there are 4 moles of hydrogen atoms. So, therefore, 2 moles of acetaldehyde corresponds to 2 into 4, that is equal to 8 moles of hydrogen. So, that is the second answer. The third thing they have asked me, how many moles of oxygen? Now, that is very simple. 1 mole of acetaldehyde corresponds to 1 mole of oxygen. Therefore, 2 moles of acetaldehyde will correspond to 2 moles of oxygen. So, A, B, C is done. Now, I have to find out D. They have asked me how many molecules of acetaldehyde are present. So, I will do it over here. Point D, don't forget it is problem M. So, when I do this, so I say that 1 mole of CH3CHO corresponds to 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 molecules of CH3CHO, 1 mole. So, therefore, 2 moles of CH3CHO correspond to 2 into 6.022 into 10 raised to 23, which is equal to 12.044 into 10 raised to 23, which is equal to 1.2044 into 10 raised to 24 molecules of acetaldehyde. So, that is all about problem M. Is that okay, children? Now, we have to solve the remaining problems, and the remaining problems will solve in the next video. Is it okay? So, thank you. Thanks a lot. God bless you.